Throughout the campaign, I promised to renegotiate NAFTA, and today we have kept that promise. The agreement will govern nearly $1.2 trillion in trade, which makes it the biggest trade deal in the United States history. It will transform North America back into a manufacturing powerhouse.
Well, President Trump touting the new trade deal with Canada and Mexico at the White House, growing questions about whether or not it can pass in Congress. White House National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow is back with us today. And how you doing, sir? It's great to see you. Thank you for giving us some time today. You bet.
No, my pleasure. Thanks very much.
If I'm a dairy farmer in Wisconsin, if I own an automotive supply shop in Toledo, Ohio, how do I benefit from this deal if it passes?
You're happy campers. Both of those happy campers because, first of all, on the dairy front and the milk front, a lot of Canada's barriers were lowered significantly in some cases. By the way, not just dairy, wheat is another important area, too. If you're a car dealer, you got a better deal out of NAFTA. There's more, I shouldn't call it NAFTA, never again, USMCA. I got to get that down.
It might take some time to correct that one. Keep going.
But, you know, the USMCA deal really eliminates a lot of unfair trading practices. It stops the flow of autos and machinery and other manufacturing out of the United States. Much better for our workforce, much better for our blue-collar folks, who I might add are booming, according to the data. So these are very good things for the U.S. economy. The President has basically delivered on another promise.
Okay, now, I hear from all sides saying it's a good deal. And when I hear that, Larry, I scored a tie. I know you're making the case that it's better for America, but did all three sides win on this?
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, look, one of the points yesterday in President Trump's phone call with President Trudeau is that the whole area now, the whole area of North American, USMCA, is really going to be protected from unfair trading practices and encroachments. I don't want to name any names, but I could say China. They're not the only ones. And I think that's a big plus for all three countries. And now that we have a deal, all the business supply chains are going to be kept intact. No tariffs for the most part, right? This is a tariff-free zone. And so I think that's a big plus for all three countries.
Okay, before I go to China, keep it on Congress for a moment. Last night, the president said, anything you send to Congress is trouble. How do you rate the trouble in Congress? Are they going to like it or not? Is it a capital T or a small t, Larry?
Well, you know, look, that's an important forecast. There's a lot of good things in here, frankly, that both parties wanted. Now, whether Democrats will come on board, I don't know. We've had very promising meetings in the White House with some of the major labor union leaders, good folks who liked this deal, who admired Bob Lighthizer and what he's done here to fix a lot of inequities and unfairness. A lot of Republicans will be very happy that the deal is made. There's no walk away. I mean, the president really kept his word on a number of areas. Intellectual property protection, currency stability. There's a lot of very good things in here, as well as market opening.
Okay, so
Bill, I don't know. We'll see.
When could Congress take this up? I mean, the Kavanaugh matter is front and center for now. I'd imagine you want it perhaps by the end of October, is my guess. I know you don't control things over there, but then you got a midterm right around the corner after that.
Yes, it's a crowded agenda. I don't want to even hazard a guess. A lot of people say after the election. That's not my area. I'll let others speak to that point. I'll be up on the Hill today talking with some important folks.
Do you now have, and go ahead and make the case as clearly as possible, do you now have a stronger hand in dealing with China, which is the next big one? Could
yes.
you have dealt with China without Mexico and Canada getting on board?
Well, we could have, but I think this makes the job easier. You've now got unified, again, USMCA North America. Let me raise another point, Bill. At the UN meetings last week, I was there. President Trump came to a very good agreement with the European Union and Japan against the unfairness, technology stealing, theft, IP theft, with, again, U.S. standing tall with Japan and the European Union. By the way, the U.S. is also heavy into trade talks with both the European Union and Japan. But this tripartite agreement is very significant. It didn't single out any particular countries, but everybody knows who we're talking about regarding unfair practices and stealing our intellectual property and technology and whatnot. So, if you put all this together, new fresh trade talks with the EU and Japan, newly completed USMCA in North America, you've got pretty much now a united front amongst the major allies. I've always felt this would be a trade coalition of the willing, to send a message to China that they've got to shape up and start behaving like a citizen in the new world of trading, which they have broken time and time again. So I think we are greatly strengthened by this. We have a lot of momentum. And again, President Trump, who sometimes takes criticism for this stuff, you know, he inherited a trading mess. He's not to blame. He's putting it back together, piece by piece. North America, Europe, Japan, elsewhere. He's doing exactly what he said he was doing. Get rid of those trade barriers and non-tariff barriers and whatnot. We are sending China a message.
Can you
and
get
I hope they're listening.
Can you get the China deal done by the first of the year, or is it going to run past that? I know you know it's a drag. How do you get it done?
Look, I wouldn't even hazard a timing guess. I wouldn't even hazard. You know, the United States is open to talks, significant, serious talks with the Chinese anytime. We've said that. President said that. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin has said that. I'm saying it. We're happy to talk. Thus far, the talks we've had have not been satisfactory, unfortunately. But hope springs eternal. Better to talk than not talk. Some thoughts, maybe the G20 in Buenos Aires. We'll see, Bill. I can't predict that.
Last question, 15 seconds. Did the U.S. squeeze Justin Trudeau to coming around to a deal or not?
I don't think you can squeeze Prime Minister Trudeau. I know the gentleman. I think we made a good deal in everybody's interest, and that's why it's succeeding.
Hope you come back, Larry. Larry
Anytime.
Kudlow
Thank
from
you.
the North Lawn. Thank you, sir, very much. Nice to see you. Here's Sandra.
Meanwhile, President Trump hitting the